What I've done, take my word. Yeah. Hello, Valentigo. How are you? First Chatter Award goes to you. The first Chatter Award goes to you, my sweet, handsome boy. My sweet, sweet, handsome lad. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. You're a great man, Chris. Thank you. I appreciate that. Why did you interrupt my audiobook of the Communist Manifesto? Well, clearly it's an audiobook because you spelled manifesto like that, Nelson, you dumb bastard. I'd like to remind everybody that at laser tag, Nelson went 0-65. We played for 2 hours. He didn't get a single kill. Verified fact. Irrefutable fact. This is real. Guten Tag. Guten Tag. Proof? You don't need proof. I'm Chris Valenti.
Una mattina mi sono alzato, un bello ciao, bello ciao, bello ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invasor, un partigiano, portami via. Un bello ciao, bello ciao, bello ciao, 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 un partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morir.
Already forgot I'm a trans woman. Get dad now. Oh, Jesus. All right, all right. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. Good, handsome girl. That's all you're gonna get from me, you son of a bitch. Daughter of a bitch. Whatever the fuck you want. You motherfucker. That's what I'll give you. You motherfucker. You motherfucking titty-sucking, two-balled bitch. That's from... There's a movie with an alien, and Simon Pegg is in it, and they're trying to hide the alien, and there's a line in it, and it's the best line of all time. Bill Hader, I think, delivers it. There's like some redneck driving a truck, and he's like, I'm on a mission from God! And Bill Hader pulls out his pistol and goes, tell him you failed! And then shoots him in the fucking face. They're both driving in their cars next to each other. I'm on a mission from God! Tell him you failed! It's called Paul. Yeah, that was the name of it. Paul.
Chris, my perfect leader, how do I become half the person you are?
I don't know, dude. I'm dead-ass just a 28-year-old guy. Like, I'm winging it, dude. You know, my dad died when I was 20, and that was the person who's supposed to teach you how to become an adult. So I was like, all right, I got to figure it out. So I'll kind of just like do what I thought my dad would want, and that's where I am. You got links for me, Malent? Go ahead. TLDR, there's an emergency fund made specifically for SNAP and food stamps during shutdowns that Russ Vought and DJT are withholding. Yes, I knew this. We have a surplus of funds that we keep in case of things like this. But Trump and Russ Vought, they don't want to use that. They want to keep that money to provide tax breaks to billionaires. Let me cue these up. I know, Wagner's in Venezuela. However, it's not confirmed that Wagner's in Venezuela. What is confirmed is that there's a plane that is linked to Wagner, a cargo plane that mysteriously landed in Venezuela. All right, let's see. So Malent gave us this. Senator Pocahontas said, Donald Trump deleted this from the government website. Let's be clear, there is funding available to cover SNAP benefits next month. Trump is stopping SNAP benefits because he wants to. He is forcing mamas and babies to go hungry. I did. I saw the Japanese PM walking Trump around like he's a fucking dementia-ridden baby. Sue Trump admin. All right, so that's good. That's good. That's good. I want to see Trump walking around like a fucking idiot. Oh, I hope this isn't my Gooner. All right, no, this is my regular one. Oh, what is this? Is this Adam?
I recognize you have contempt for what I believe.
Hey, friend of the show, Adam Kinzinger. Now, we've talked about this before. Me and Adam, we disagree on like almost every policy. He's a Republican. I'm a socialist, but he's at least a man that understands that Donald Trump is a threat, and he's the only Republican I've ever seen that is willing to step up to Trump. He wrote a book called The Last Republican, and this is what I've been trying to tell you guys. That's not the Republican Party. Like Donald Trump, Stephen Miller, whatnot, those are not Republicans. Those are fascists, right? Wow, I'm really moving the camera a lot. The Republican Party of old is dead and gone. It's dead. And Adam is trying to make a valid point here that, you know, he considers himself the last Republican. I want to see what this is about. And also, if you ever watch this, Adam, hit me up. Let's go get some fucking lunch. Talk about how to take over this nation.
In terms of my political viewpoints.
You voted with the president 93% of the time, so...
I think in any other situation, you would be protesting my office.
First of all, it's kind of mean that you would think I would have contempt for your views.
Yeah.
Why would you think that?
Do you have contempt for my views, Steve?
So, let me ask you, how does one even become a Republican? Because, like, I don't know, I don't get it.
You know, my parents were Republicans. Ronald Reagan was...
Dude, did you see that schmear? Did you see that schmear?
My parents
Are these his parents? Brother,
again?
that is a schmear and a half. How are you not fat, Adam?
Ronald Reagan was president. You probably hated Reagan.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
still
I
hate
mean,
him.
it's Ronald Reagan, bro.
What's so great about Ronald Reagan?
Now you can feel free to cry if you want. I mean, just get it all out.
It's not about a political view.
Was that an iPad? Wait, do we have planes with iPads as the steering wheel? What the fuck?
A political view.
I'll turn it up.
It's about what it is to turn against everything you've ever belonged to because of some red line you can't cross. My staff, by the way, is telling me, like, you're not gonna do this, right?
The January 6th committee has already blown it.
This is suicidal.
No filming.
And they are right.
How does it feel to be a pariah within your own party?
We're gonna get you. Coming to your house, son.
We're gonna line you up on a wall and take care of all your traitorous asses.
Oh, I heard that before. I get the same kind of calls. Now, he's getting them from, like, his own party. I'm getting them from his party as well, but it must hit different when you're a Republican getting death threats from a Republican.
Oaths matter. Character matters. Truth matters. If we do not renew our faith and commitment to these principles, this great experiment of ours, our shining beacon on a hill.
Adam, you still gotta take me in your plane. You told me you'd take me in your plane. You still gotta take me in your plane, and I'll make a banger ass video.
Will not endure.
It seems like you would be a great candidate to start Republicans Anonymous.
Then we're just feeding into your little left wing, like, oh, every Republican is just a Democrat waiting to find his wings.
Oh, definitely.
No, Adam, you're almost there. Every American is a socialist that is too afraid to admit it, or they don't know what socialism is. We've hung out, my boy. It's gonna take you a little bit, but one day you're gonna come around and you're gonna realize, shit, maybe hypercapitalism is the fucking problem. Give me a chance, guys. I'll get him to see the light. You know, the first time we hung out, he was like, yeah, meet me here. Meet me at the lobby of this hotel. And I was like, I showed up and I said to him when I met, I shook his hand. I said, Republican congressman asks to meet young man in hotel. How could this possibly go wrong? He laughed, but what's Trump's approval rating? It's in the low 30s. It's like 31 or 32%. It's abysmal. And he's bitching and moaning on Truth Social going, anybody who puts up polls that make me look bad, it's illegal. It shouldn't be allowed. All right. I wanted to pull something up on Twitter. Oh, look. Closeted gay boy Benny Johnson.
He showed up for Charlie Kirk, Erica Kirk, and VP Vance. Check this out. Let's go! Here we go, boys.
There's not a speck of melanin in this crowd. You'll never find a girl like me. You'll never find another girl like me. You'll never find another girl like me. Oh my God, there's not a speck of melanin in the crowd. Are there any people of color?
Let's go!
Oh my God, there's not one. There isn't one. There's one, but he works there.
Let's go, Mississippi!
There isn't a speck of melanin in that fucking crowd, man.
Riley Gaines, as she sits there and has the moral high ground against AOC. When I look at people, if I were to say who's more Christ-like, I would pick AOC and the atheist Jew Bernie Sanders and the Muslim Zoran Mamdani a million times over you, Riley.
What is this? How dare you? Oh, how dare you? Oh, Jesus Christ, how fucking dare you? Wow. That makes me fucking angry, bro. That's blasphemous. That's straight up blasphemous. Remember, Chris, the Nazis rage baited to prove they were being oppressed. I know. They're cry bullies. They have to be both in power and being oppressed. It's the only way that it works. All right, now I whipped up Twitter for something. I forgot why. Oh, yeah, I think it was, Trump said some crazy shit. Oh, I want Trump with Japanese Prime Minister. Don't salute the flag. Oh, no. Now he's got to salute. You dumb idiot. Oh, God. Oh, my God. He's walking around like a dog. Like a lost dog. Holy shit, dude. Oh my God, he's being paraded around like a dog. Thanks for becoming a loyalist. Holy shit, he's being paraded around like a little dog. Holy fuck, dude.
Minutes back up to the podium.
Wait, did he just do a circle? Wait, he just did a circle and went back up to the podium. Holy shit. Oh my God, dude.
To join the prime minister.
Holy fuck, that's embarrassing. Dude, it's literally a dog show. It's a dog show. That's crazy. No, Stephen Miller, Piers Morgan, he had a crash out. Let me see.
Normal for a Miller to be completely and utterly lying.
Quite frankly, I'm really sick and tired of this racist, bigoted rhetoric that comes from
Oh, that's his hideous cunt wife.
people like you against my husband, against my family, and my children. I am raising Jewish children in this country.
Who brought your
in which
children
you
into this? What a weirdo.
Piers, I'm going to be done with this if you're going to allow racist and bigoted attacks against
What a fucking pussy. Go ahead and leave, you hideous cunt.
one of your commentators, just for the sake that he will not
hang on.
speaking.
Casey, to be clear, Casey, to be clear,
He inserted a line that says
Casey,
the
hang
Miller's
on.
lie. Is that not coded language for therefore we are Jewish? Come on, Piers, where are you? What? Where are you standing? for this?
God, you're so
Katie, if I can speak,
Everything's your
if I can speak, listen.
anti-Semite. Fire him, cancel him, cancel him, America. Oh my God, Israel's feelings have been hurt. Why don't you work for this
All right,
country?
can we try and get
this country?
Yeah, you are a guest on my show, and I appreciate you coming on the show, and I like you coming on the show.
And I'm
But,
saying
you know,
the two other
I
guests
think
on
you're
your
able
show
to.
are welcome to participate in these anti-Semitic attacks that is so permeating on CNN and MSNBC.
Yeah, bitch. Nobody fucking falls for that shit anymore. Oh, if you insult Israel, you're anti-Semitic. Nah, bitch. You use anti-Semitism as a fucking shield to defend Israel's genocidal actions. It ain't gonna work no more. The whole world realized what the fuck happened. The whole world is against Israel. Nobody supports Israel except for Israel, you dumb cunt.
Ridiculous. I'm sorry. I have to jump in here. Somebody criticizing you personally is not an anti-Semitic attack. If somebody says that you are lying, that is not an attack on Jews, that is an attack on you. And just stop hiding behind identity. This is all the snowflake behavior that the right is supposedly criticizing the left for, that you're simply repeating here. Yes, Stephen Miller is a destructive force in American society. That is not an attack on Jews. That is no reference to his identity. This is an attack on him individually, and just deal with the merits of this case.
Totally.
I thought somebody said Stephen Miller was on this show, or was it just his wife?
Normal for a Miller to be completely and utterly lying.
Quite frankly, I'm really sick and tired of this racist, bigoted rhetoric that comes from people like you against my husband, against my family.
She's not Miller's type? Of course not. She doesn't have a dick.
And my children. I am raising Jewish children in this country.
Who brought your
in which
children
you
into this? What a weirdo.
Piers, I'm going to be done with this if you're going to allow racist and bigoted attacks against one of your commentators.
Really lying.
All right, we'll have that up. We'll have that queued up. All right, I think we're good for a video. Trump quick reaction force. Russian heavy cargo plane. Russian heavy cargo plane. Trump starts to blow up nukes. Trump and Xi. Snap. Snap. Let's get Trump and Xi there. Trump and Japan. Snap, snap. And then Stephen Miller's hideous, giant-nosed cunt wife. Disgusting tramp that gets plowed by Elon Musk. Jon Stewart Kamala interview, if that interests you. Really doesn't. I don't like Kamala Harris. There's nothing she could say that I give a fuck about other than I'm not running. If she says I'm not running, I'll cover that, but she's such a fucking idiot. Selfish piece of shit, dude. She's also shitting on Biden. Great. It's hilarious. All right, fine. I'll give it one look. Kamala.
Is about Joe Biden. Are you still? Question is about Joe Biden. Are you still reluctant to criticize the former president?
In what regard, please?
Well, just in terms of that question. So
this ain't it,
what
right?
exactly would you like to ask? Be more specific, if you don't mind.
Was it Joe Biden's decision, his failure to recognize his own frailties in that position, that put you in the position that made it almost impossible to win that race?
He was not frail as president of the United States.
But he had frailties.
Yes, he was.
We all saw the debate.
I do believe that Joe Biden had the capacity to be president of the United States, and I have never doubted that he had the capacity to be president of the United States.
Dude, like, oh my God, I'm starting to realize that she is literally a snake, bro. She's literally a reptile. There's nothing behind those eyes except, I want to be president, I want to be president, I want to be president, I want to be president. This is fucking gross.
If you want to talk about whether he had the ability to endure what a race for president of the United States would require in that political...
And here's my thing, guys. I don't want a president that wants to be president. I know that's hard to comprehend, but I want a president that is like, I can't fucking believe you need me to be the president to fix this shit. But I guess I fucking will, because nobody else is gonna do it. That's what I want. I want somebody who's like, I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for us. I'm doing this to make this country better. I don't want to fucking be here. That's a president I would want. You know? Somebody who starts running and says like, yo, guys, by all accounts, I should have a house and I should have 2 kids and my wife and a dog and I should be enjoying life. But I'm not. So I'm going to get up there, I'm going to get in that oval, and I'm going to fix it. For all of you. For everybody. Because what the fuck are we doing?
Environment in 2024, as I've said in the book, I had concerns.
I'm just wondering, is there a reason why you won't go to that prolonged frailty question? Now, we saw the debate, we saw the difficulty he had marshalling his thoughts.
I have answered that question. I do not believe that
I think it's just hard watching the debate to see how there could not be a problem long term with someone who can't marshal their thoughts. I'm not saying his acuity wasn't present.
I talked about that in the book.
Oh my God, no one's reading your book! No one's reading your fucking book!
And I also mentioned the context in which that debate occurred. And you'll probably remember how I talked about that in terms of what his travel schedule had been, that what he had been enduring in terms of the timing of that debate. I talk about it extensively in the book. I'm not
Oh my God, dude, just say it!
Shying away from that. That's why I wrote it in the book, because I do know it's a question people had.
Are you unwilling or reluctant to have your criticisms of Joe Biden, as frank as they are in the book, on tape, on camera?
Of course not.
Then say it. Then say it.
I wouldn't have written a book if I didn't want to be on record about that.
So,
that's a curious question.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. You're not getting my fucking vote. You're not getting my fucking vote. Are you fucking kidding me?
There were times where Joe Biden greatly disappointed. To just be honest, there were times where Joe Biden greatly disappointed me. And frankly, angered me. Like on the day of my debate with Trump, the stakes were so high. And the president calls, and he said to me, it just was so unnecessary.
And you took something from that.
What did he say to you? What is this?
That his motivation was all about himself.
Do you think he wanted you to win the election? Madam Vice President.
What is this, an ad for a show? Oh my God.
Which is about...
Be honest, there were times where Joe Biden greatly disappointed me.
Yeah, it's clickbait.
It's actually more of the truth that for those first several months, it was just me and Joe.
Feelings of affection and loyalty to the president affect your ability to make that case as maybe of affection and loyalty to the president affect your ability to make that case as maybe, as robustly as you wanted to make it, for fear that it would be seen as upsetting to him or any of those, or did that not factor in?
No, I mean, I actually write about it extensively in the book about my feelings.
Kamala, I wrote about it extensively in the book, Harris. I feel like I'm going to hear that line for the next 6 years. Like, I unironically feel like all she's going to do is say, I wrote about it in the book. I wrote about it in the book. I wrote about it in the book.
For the president. I care about him deeply. And I did not want to pile on with all the criticism that he was facing. I didn't think it was necessary for me to weigh on already what was so much. And I do realize also in reflection that I did not fully understand how big of an issue it was for some people for me to distinguish my.
She has no motion. She has no motion, dude. It's like she like lost her soul after losing the election. And the thing is, she barely had energy beforehand, but now, bro, it's like you sound depressed as shit. She sounds so depressed.
I felt that the distinction between he and I was pretty clear.
I didn't. What was the fucking distinction between you and Joe Biden other than you said you wanted to build a wall?
And that was, I think that was something that was a real issue. And but I knowing what I knew now, I would have probably approached it a bit differently.
And I don't mean that in the personal sense of not ready. I meant it more in the sense of the policies that he wanted to implement or the way that they were implemented or the governance obstacles more than the competence conversation.
I'm not talking about competence.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about competence at all. No, I believe he was fully competent to serve.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
What? Brother, every other sentence he'd be going, we're gonna forgive student loans, Jack. We're gonna be using the money and we're gonna take it back. And another thing, when I was a young boy, I did my leg in the pool, and my hair, it'd go down and play with the hair, Jack. And he'd look over like he saw the Grim Reaper. We're gonna take the money and fix it. Like, what are we talking about? Bombaclot, Wagwan, Jack. Like, who the fuck is Jack?
That surprises me, actually.
No, I do. There's a distinction to be made between running for president and being president.
What's the distinction?
Well, being a candidate for president of the United States is about being in a marathon at a sprinter's pace, having tomatoes thrown at you every step you take.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, it's more than a notion.
Get involved in public service, ladies and gentlemen.
And to be the seated president, the sitting president, while doing that, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. I think it's a hard case to make for people that he didn't have the stamina to run, but he had the stamina to govern. Because I think most people view the presidency as a marathon run at a sprint with tomatoes being thrown at you.
So, Kamala, you're saying he had the energy to be the president, but he didn't have the energy to run for president. I think every American would agree that it takes more energy to be the president than to run for president. Anybody can run for president. They don't have to make the decisions that a president has to make during that campaign. It's fucking, this is the stupidest argument I've ever heard.
In terms of governance. So I think that drawing that distinction, and again, I recognize the incredibly difficult place you are in with that, with personal relationships. And, I've been surprised at how much people talk about loyalty. And it's funny in the book, you know, it creeps in every now and again because it'll be like, I love Joe. I'm loyal to Joe. He's the best. But, you know,
Why are you spending a second of time on this? Because this is my stream and I make the rules. Cope, mauled, seethe. Click the X button. I don't give a fuck.
Gave that 11-minute speech, and it wasn't until 10 minutes in that he said anything about me. Like, it's hard, I guess. You're still people. It's hard to get the personal feelings of rejection or upset or loyalty out of this.
Well, that's why I put it in the book. Because
Oh my God. That's why I put it in the book. That's why I put it in the book. You should buy the book. If you buy a book, you can see.
As people have commented, I am very candid in the book. And it was a complicated relationship. And yeah, he disappointed me. Yes, he disappointed me.
And it was clear, I think they felt like you had disappointed them.
How?
Like that was so wild about it.
Yeah.
It's tough. Do you have that relationship still?
Yes, we do. In fact, it was my birthday last week, and he called for my birthday. We had a really great conversation, and we plan on seeing each other. I mean, like I said, it's complicated. I care a great deal about Joe Biden, and I know he cares about me, and that's not going to change.
Right. And maybe some distance helps kind of be reparative in that way.
Listen, relationships are complicated.
That's why I don't have them.
Well,
that's why.
Yeah, well, so let me explain something to you, John, about relationships.
My advice is this: lone wolf, baby. It's lone wolf. It's introversion, and you keep to yourself.
That wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I thought she was actually going to attack Joe, but she didn't. She did not. All right, we've got our links queued up for today's video. I am going to fill up my cup of coffee. Oh, and then we're going to make a video. Oh. Okay. Why can't Mamdani run for president? He wasn't born in the United States of America. You have to be born in the United States in order to run for president. It's one of the rules. One of the rules. I already made a video about Maduro capturing CIA mercenaries. Oh yeah, unless you're Ted Cruz. If you're Ted Cruz, you can run for president. But Washington wasn't born here. Here did not exist. When Washington was born, the United States of America did not exist. The 13 colonies did. That was British territory, but no, George Washington, there was no America to be born in. Can we just change that too? No, because then Elon Musk runs for president. It's kind of stupid, really. Zoran is much more American than Kamala Harris will ever be. You're right. But unfortunately, if you allow foreigners to run for president, you will end up having Elon Musk as the president. Chris, of all the prominent socialists throughout history, whose vision do you agree with the most? I think Karl Marx predicted the future 100% accurately. I think he accurately predicted the future. But I don't know if you could call Karl Marx a socialist. He's just a Marxist. You know? And I don't even know if you can call me a socialist. You can call me a Valentist. I mean, I call myself a socialist. I think I'm a socialist, but a lot of my beliefs are just my beliefs. I've never seen anybody put them into a box before, you know? This country is astoundingly stupid. I know. Every day I realize more and more that humanity might actually be the stupidest creatures on this planet. Sure, we have the most brain capacity. We could build cities and whatnot, but we will literally murder ourselves by the tens of millions because like a group of 6 guys told us to. You know, you don't see fucking lions doing that shit. I don't know who the king of the lions is. What's your favorite band? I don't have one. Maybe M83? I like M83. EMTALA. What is EMTALA? Emergency Medical Treatment and Labor Act. It's a federal law that requires Medicare participating hospitals to provide a medical screening exam. So what, is it being like cut? It's a law that says hospitals can't kick you out, but what are they doing? Are they like getting rid of that law? Oh shit. They'll no longer enforce EMTALA when hospitals do not provide emergency abortion care to stabilize a patient's health. Uh-oh. That's not good. All right, let me fill up my coffee. Be right back. Oh, yeah, we should do that too. We should definitely put in Texas judges ruling that they do not have to marry gay people. Okay. All right, let's make a video. Oh, you guys didn't hear about this? I'll just show you before we start the video. Texas judges will not face sanctions for turning down same-sex weddings on religious grounds. Texas judges who decline to perform a wedding ceremony based on sincerely held religious beliefs do not violate the state's rule on judicial impartiality. So in Texas now, they have different laws than the federal government. In Texas, judges can refuse to marry gay people. That's where we're at. I told you. We all told you. All right. And what? Now listen. I don't know if you don't believe me when I tell you what's going to happen, but now you're realizing I'm right. I need you to understand what is coming next. Interracial marriage will be outlawed. Anybody in an interracial marriage, your marriage license is going to be revoked. You're going to lose all of those benefits. Your wife or your husband will no longer be considered your husband or your wife. You need to prepare for this. This is inevitable, okay? Look at the recent donation. $5. I learn from you every day. We are learning about Karl Marx, Noah, age 15, OAL. TY, advice for us being told to sign up for the military. Don't. Here's my advice for you, young man. This country creates heightened states of desperation. They want people to be desperate. They want people to be poor. They want people to need health care. They want people to need college. They want you desperate, okay, so that you will enlist in the military to get those benefits, right? Now, those benefits would be socialism, right? Free healthcare, free college, or not free, like, the collective is paying for it, right? Our military will offer you socialism so that you will load a gun and go defend capitalism. That is what our military is, okay? Do not enlist. Do not enlist. Non-veteran says don't enlist. Yeah, well, every single male in my family for the past like 80 years has been in the military. My dad served in Vietnam. My uncle served in Korea. My grandfather fought against the Japanese. My other grandfather fought in Normandy. I have cousins who fought in Iraq and Afghanistan. I've never had a family member who tells people to enlist. I've never met somebody in the military who advocates for other people to enlist. That should be all you need to know. I've never met a soldier or a veteran who says, enlist. Never in my life. Never in my fucking life have I met somebody say that. Yes, the recruiters will lie straight to your face, bro. They will lie straight to your face. And I'll give you one last piece of personal history here. My father only got cancer because the United States military dropped a chemical agent on him in the Vietnam War. It was called Agent Orange. And 40, 50 years later, he started to get sick. He went to the doctor. They said, were you exposed to Agent Orange? He said, yes. They said, you have a rare form of leukemia. It is just now being discovered. We tried to sue the government. We lost because my father signed a contract that said you may be exposed to carcinogenic chemicals, and that's part of the deal. No matter what happens to you when you're in the military, they don't care. They don't view you as a person. They view you as a weapon, and weapons break. And when weapons break, you replace it. That's it. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. You're not a person, you're a weapon. Anyway. That's all I got for you, kid. My dad used to say this: you could do anything you want, except join the military. That's how he used to say it. Chris, you could do whatever you want in this life, except join the military. Keep that advice. Keep that advice. All right, let's make a video. I gotta refresh this page. There we go. You guys ready? You guys ready? The Pentagon has ordered all 50 states of the United States of America to prepare quick reaction forces of 500 troops per state that are trained in riot control and crowd control and policing. Now, this is illegal. The military is not allowed to participate in law enforcement because of a law called Posse Comitatus. However, as we've discussed many times, the president is going to invoke the Insurrection Act of 1807 because that overrules the Posse Comitatus Act. This is no longer hyperbole. We have confirmation from the Hill. Pentagon orders quick reaction force of 500 troops per state. We have a lot to cover today because some crazy shit has been happening in the morning here. We got a dono here. Would you be mad if we made a group song using OAL, Tyler, age 17? No, go ahead, man. That's all you. So we've got a lot to cover today. We got Donald Trump preparing a military deployment in all 50 states of the United States of America. We have a heavy Russian cargo plane that is directly connected to the Wagner Group, which is the mercenary group that Putin used in Ukraine until Prigozhin, the leader of that mercenary group, his boys started to get killed by Russian artillery. So he turned his mercenary group around and they charged into Moscow and they said they were going to fucking kill Putin. And then mysteriously Prigozhin's plane went down, boom, gone. The Wagner Group is showing up in Venezuela, okay? Heavy Russian cargo planes directly linked to the Wagner Group is showing up in Venezuela. So it seems like we're going to have, like every day I realize this is literally Vietnam 2, Electric Boogaloo. I don't know if you know this, but there were Russians in Vietnam. Now, we probably didn't engage in combat with them, and if we did, that shit was buried. It was probably like fucking, like MAGV, whatever they called, MAGV SOC, or whatever the fuck, like high-end special forces were probably doing that. But it looks like the Russians are getting involved in Venezuela. Trump and Xi Jinping finished their meeting as Trump was doing his Asia tour, and as soon as the meeting was over, Trump ordered the Pentagon to start testing our nuclear weapons immediately. Now, you might not know this, but we haven't tested nuclear weapons in 30 years, bro. We used to test nuclear weapons left and right, but maybe you know this, it's incredibly bad for the environment to be blowing up radioactive bombs. It's really bad for everything and everyone. So we're back in the Cold War, it looks like. Also, during that Asia tour, Trump was walked around in a circle like a lost dog, just saluting random flags like a fucking dementia-ridden doofus. We also have some news that the government has a surplus of money that they keep for government shutdowns, and they are refusing to send it out. It's because they want you to suffer. 25 different states are suing the Trump administration over withholding SNAP benefits. Judges in Texas are refusing to marry gay couples, and it was brought to court, and the court ruled that Texas judges do not have to marry gay couples. So we are regressing as a society. Up next is interracial marriage. And then last but not least, Stephen Miller's hideous whore of a wife who gets fucked by Elon Musk while Stephen Miller watches. Well, she went on Piers Morgan and she had a fucking crash out where she threatened to rage quit and then accused Cenk Uygur of being anti-Semitic because he insulted her. And as we know, it's the old Israeli playbook. If you insult any Jewish person, it means you're a fucking Nazi. If you insult a Jewish person for things that have nothing to do with Judaism, like if a Jewish person is an asshole and you call them an asshole, you're actually an anti-Semitic Nazi. Because yeah, that's the play. The whole world is waking up to this shit. Nobody supports Israel except for Israel and American war hawks, but everybody's waking up to this. We have a lot to cover today. I have to burp. Whoa. Thank you, burp. Hi, welcome to the Valenti VOD. I'm Chris Valenti. I'm a douchebag from New York, and this is Real Independent Media. I fucking hate fascists. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome. This is Real Independent Media. I got no advertisers. I've had no conversations with billionaires or governments or any of that shit. What you're about to hear is my opinion unrestricted. So if you do want to support this channel financially, there's a couple of ways you could do it. You could buy merch like the Democratic Socialist poster or the No But You Don't Understand mugs. We've got a new merch line coming out next week. Duty Calls, that's the name of it. You can click the thanks button down below to donate directly to the channel. You can click the join button down below to become a member. You'll get access to member-only content and some cool emotes. And you can also become a patron on Patreon. Thank you to everybody who has paid me. Anyway, without further ado, let's dive right into the nightmare news, starting off with Pentagon orders quick reaction force of 500 troops per state. The National Guard is building a QRF, or a quick reaction force, of some 23,500 troops trained in crowd control and civil disturbance that can be ready to deploy to U.S. cities by early next year, according to a leaked memo reported by multiple outlets Wednesday. Now, we covered this last week because here at the Valenti VOD, we are literally weeks ahead of mainstream media. Always are. Pete Hegseth was asked this question. Somebody goes, hey, there's a leaked memo about this. And Pete said, I'm not going to confirm or deny anything that may or may not be planned. We covered this last week, okay? So this should be all you need to know to hit that sub button, hit that noti bell so you are more informed than your fellow man. The October 8th memo, signed by National Guard Bureau Director of Operations Major General Ronald Burkett, orders the Guard from nearly every U.S. state, Puerto Rico, and Guam to train 500 service members. States with smaller populations, such as Delaware, will have 250 troops in its force, while Alaska will have 350 and Guam will have 100. A previous Pentagon memo issued in September and revealed by The Guardian had mandated that the Washington, D.C. National Guard create a specialized military police battalion within it, dedicated to ensuring safety and public order in the nation's capital as the circumstances may necessitate. So what you're seeing here is another workaround around posse comitatus. So the military cannot practice law enforcement. However, there is a thing called military police. Military police, now they can practice law enforcement. So it seems like what Trump is going to do is start essentially deputizing soldiers who are not trained in policing to become military police. That way they can use their military training for policing. It's a little loophole around posse comitatus. The latest document also stipulates that the Pentagon will send military trainers to the states and territories so the QRFs will be operational by January 1st, 2026. Each state also will be given 100 sets of crowd control equipment to be used to support this requirement, such as tasers, pepper spray, batons, and body shields. The Pentagon did not respond to a request for comment from the Hill. The Trump regime has increasingly moved to use the United States military to push his political agenda domestically via sending National Guard troops into largely Democrat-run cities under the claim of helping fight crime. So don't fool yourself. The Civil War already began. We can pretend like it didn't. We can sit here and click and scroll and play Battlefield, but the Civil War began, and the only side that is fighting is the Republicans. The Democrats are sitting there sucking on their thumbs, doing absolutely nothing, to the point where they're not even endorsing Zohran Mamdani. Like, fuck fighting back against the fascists who are an armed paramilitary group hiding their identities. That's not even a thought. They won't even endorse Zohran Mamdani, okay? The Civil War began. The National Guard of Texas invaded Chicago against the orders of the Chicago governor. That is illegal. That is violence. That is terrorism. The Civil War began, and if you disagree with me, you're wrong. Trump has also activated the National Guard Los Angeles to quell largely peaceful protests over U.S. immigration and customs enforcement activities in the city, and has attempted to send them to Portland, Oregon, and Chicago, among other cities, but so far has been blocked by the courts. I'd like to point out that, like, this is what the Republicans have been screaming for decades about. They've been saying, oh, we're going to get some communist elected as president, and they're going to deploy the military into our cities, and they're going to step all over our states' rights, and they're going to trample over protesters, and they're going to try and create a one-party state, one-party country, one-party rule. And it's here now. But as we know, the Republicans never had beliefs. The Republicans never supported the First Amendment. They never supported anything. What they supported was power. And now that they have power, they've taken the mask off. Metaphorically, because ICE will not take the masks off, but they have taken the mask off and showed, no, we never cared about due process. We never cared about the First Amendment. We never cared about the Constitution. We cared about getting power. And now that we have it, we will never lose it. That is what the Republican Party is. Fascists. And this is why, people like Adam Kinzinger, friend of the show, wrote his book and as his new movie, The Last Republican. Because this is not the Republican Party. This is a fascist organization masquerading as a government. These are not Republicans. These are not Democrats. These are not Americans. These are fascists, okay? All right, we're going to move on to more violence and war, but this time in Venezuela. Heavy Russian cargo plane lands in Caracas amid U.S.-Venezuela tension. Berlin. A Russian transport aircraft of a type linked to the country's military and former Wagner mercenary group has landed in the Venezuelan capital over the weekend, signaling heightened Russian interest in the Latin American country. The Ilyushin IL-76 transport aircraft with the registration RA-78765 arrived in Caracas on Sunday after a 2-day journey that took it from Russia via Armenia, Algeria, Morocco, Senegal, and Mauritania to Latin America, flight records show. It appears the aircraft embarked on its trip from an airport in the greater Moscow area, with the transponder signal first being picked up shortly after takeoff. The multi-stop journey is emblematic of the circuitous routes used to avoid Western airspace or possible cargo inspections in unfriendly countries. It is also possible that deliveries or pickups were made along the way. Russia has a military presence in Algeria, maintains an industrial footprint in Senegal, and relations with Morocco are cordial. Russian mercenaries have also been present in Mauritania, crossing over from neighboring Mali. Stopping in Russia-friendly countries in West Africa also allowed the aircraft to refuel before crossing the Atlantic. An IL-76 can transport up to 50 tons of cargo or up to 200 people. Aircraft of this type are known to have delivered small arms, military supplies, and even mercenaries on Russia's behalf in the past. Larger deliveries, such as an S-400 air defense system, would likely require several trips. So it looks like Russia is getting involved in Venezuela. You know, and this is something that we've seen so many times, man. Every time the United States of America tries to do some sort of military coup d'etat, some sort of CIA overthrow of a South American nation, we end up finding a Russian down there, right? And I don't want you to fool yourself into thinking that that validates our military action. No, both countries, the United States and Russia, are out of their fucking mind for involving themselves in Venezuela. We took the first swing. We started bombing Venezuelan boats. We said we're putting a $50 million bounty on Maduro's head. We sent CIA operatives down there. So Russia, who is an adversary of the United States of America, they see an opportunity. And like we've said many a time, you don't waste a good crisis, right? They see America's involvement picking up, and Putin, he goes, well, why don't we get involved and make Trump look like the baby back bitch that he is? It's not going to be easy for us to win in Venezuela, even against Venezuelans, let alone against the fucking Wagner group, a mercenary group that Russia has no fucking ties to, like not ties, but Russia has no respect for. They don't give a fuck. You can go ahead and die, Wagner group. You can go ahead and die in there. It's not like Russia's going to come pick you up. It's not like Russia's going to come find your fucking body. You're a mercenary. This is like Blackwater, right? The Wagner group is the Russian version of Blackwater, okay? Veterans who were committing war crimes and they're really good at killing, and when their term is up, they go and fight for America without the American flag so that they can commit heinous war crimes. That is what the Wagner group is. This is the Russian version of Blackwater. So just to give you an example of what's going on here, we've got the U.S. warship USS Gravely parking next door to Maduro, right? This is one of our strongest destroyers, right? And then we've got this. We've got the flight log of the fucking Wagner plane, right? And this plane is directly linked to Wagner. Nobody knows what's on this plane. But I'm willing to bet money we got weapons and mercs on that fucking plane. Now, we're going to move on to the Asian world. Trump and Xi finished their meeting, and there's just a little bit that they agree. It was a dud. It was a nothing burger. And I think Chuck Schumer said like something similar. He was like, well, Trump returned from his Asia trip and nothing happened. It was fucking useless. And then Trump posts on Truth Social that criticizing him like that is treason. So the president just accused somebody of treason for criticizing him. All right, what do we got here? Fentanyl. Trump said he was lowering fentanyl tariffs on China to 10% from 20%, effective immediately. He said that it would bring the total effective tariff rate on Chinese imports to 47 from 57. What else? U.S. officials say China hasn't done enough to stop the illegal export. Isn't that a problem that Mexico has to make? It's not like they're importing the fucking fentanyl. It's not like they're exporting the fentanyl into the United States. They're exporting it to Mexico. And then Mexican cartels are making deals with American cartels. Sorry. Mexican cartels are making deals with American weapons runners, right? We sell weapons to Mexico, and in return, we get a fuckload of drugs. And that's how these fucking drug dealers operate. 90% of the fentanyl that comes across the southern border is smuggled in by U.S. citizens, not by fucking foreigners. All right, rare earth minerals. Let's see. China, which has a near monopoly in the global supply, rattled automakers around the world when it imposed strict export controls on the materials. Let's see. Trump says that Xi had agreed to a 1-year reprieve on the curbs that is likely to be routinely extended. Okay, so that means fuck all. Soybeans, this is important for our farmers. Trump said China, which resumed purchase of U.S. soybeans ahead of the meeting, would purchase large, tremendous amounts of soybeans and other farm products. I'll believe that when I see it. Oh, Scott Bessent said that China would buy... Scott Bessent pretended to be a soybean farmer. Let me see if I could pull that up. Scott Bessent is like, I think he's the Treasury Secretary. Scott Bessent, I'm a soybean farmer. He literally, like, this is a guy who is a landowner. I don't know if we're going to be able to find it. Is this it? Yeah, wait.
If you don't know it, I'm actually a soybean farmer, so I have felt this pain too.
This guy owns like 25,000 acres of land, and many of it are soybean farms. Like, he's not a soybean farmer. He's a landlord, and he owns the soybean farm. But you have to understand, like, this is how these people think. Like, they think that if they own the land, they take on the responsibility of whoever their fucking tenants are. You know, like, this is like my fucking landlord saying that he's a YouTuber because I'm a YouTuber and I pay his mortgage. That's what this is. It's fucking insane. Anyway, let's keep reading. All right, so Scott Bessent says that China will buy 12 million metric tons of soybeans, and they're going to purchase 25 million metric tons more. I don't believe that. What else? Ukraine. U.S. and China will work together on ending the war in Ukraine. Well, you can't do that. That's up to Putin and Zelensky. Taiwan and NVIDIA. Let's see. The U.S. would further relax. So Trump said there's no discussion as to whether the U.S. will further relax its export curbs to allow the export of NVIDIA's latest chips called Blackwell. All right, so again, like what I said earlier, this meeting, nothing came from it. Nothing came from it. Like, we're not, like, the trade war is still going. The tariffs are still going. China is still kicking our ass and eating our lunch. But something big did happen as soon as the meeting ended, which is this. Trump orders Pentagon to start testing nuclear weapons on an equal basis with other countries. The U.S. voluntarily halted nuclear explosive testing in 1992, though it has the ability to restart tests at a site in Nevada. What do we got here? You gonna play?
Posting on social media, Gotti, I should mention that the president posting on social media, quite a significant social media post saying that the United States has more nuclear weapons than any other country. He goes on to say that Russia is second, China is a distant third, but will be even within 5 years. Because of other countries testing programs, I have instructed, he says, the Department of War to start testing our nuclear weapons on an equal basis, and that process will begin immediately.
I'm going to read this the way it should be read. The United States has more nuclear weapons than any other country. This was accomplished including a complete update and renovation of existing weapons during my first term in office. Because of the tremendous destructive power, I hated to do it, but had no choice. Russia is second and China is a distant third, but will be even within 5 years. Because of other countries' testing programs, I have instructed the Department of War to start testing our nuclear weapons on an equal basis. That process will begin immediately. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I made a video about this on TikTok. It's literally like someone was like, Mr. President, how was your meeting with Xi Jinping? And he goes, it was fine. Start testing the nukes immediately. And they're like, what? What do you mean? But what? But why? I don't, like, Mac is going to defend this, by the way. MAGA's going to defend this. These people unironically are going to defend nuclear weapons being detonated. Fuck it. Yeah, why not? Big explosion. Damn, big explosion. I like the big explosion. You're a fucking inbred dipshit. President Donald Trump said Wednesday he had instructed the Defense Department to immediately start testing nuclear weapons on an equal basis with other nations. The last test, oh, my bad. The last confirmed nuclear test. Yeah, wait, what am I, a fucking idiot? We've been testing these fucking things secretively for, I don't even know, 30 years. Chris, please don't do that. I don't give a shit. Cancel me. Call me ableist. I couldn't give less of a fuck. I think every single MAGA voter is mentally disabled. I do not care. China's last known testing of a nuclear weapon was in 1996, and Russia's recent weapon testing did not detonate a nuclear weapon, just the delivery technology. Trump, who has lately sharpened his rhetoric about U.S. military capabilities, said the decision to resume testing was about reaching parity with Moscow and Beijing. Yeah, no, because that's a great way to negotiate, is to start testing your nuclear weapons, to be like, hey, by the way, if you don't agree with me, I'm just going to bomb you. How's that sound? Now, speaking of this Asia tour, don't forget Donald Trump has dementia. He's like 80-something years old. He's somebody's fucking grandfather. I think he's a great-grandfather. But regardless, he was walked around by the Japanese prime minister like a lost dog, okay? And I mean, we need to be more honest about this. Donald Trump is not mentally fit to be the president. I know, like, you're going to, what about Joe Biden? Neither was Joe Biden. But Donald Trump does not know where he is. I don't think he knows who he is sometimes. We already know that he has dementia. He's taking Alzheimer's tests. They're asking him, is this a giraffe or is this an elephant? And he's like, it's a camel, because he's, you know, brain dead. But just look at this video. It's actually embarrassing to be an American after watching this. Just get a look at this. Jesus Christ. Different angle now. No music. And the guy behind him has to salute whenever he salutes. So Trump, what the fuck is this? Even the guy's like, oh, fuck, we're saluting? Look at the guy behind him. Oh, fuck, we're saluting? That doesn't make any sense. All right, I guess we're done. Oh, my God, dude. He doesn't know where the fuck he is. Now, mind you, remember, he was just standing on the podium on the left side of the room, and he just did a weird fucking circle like a dog. And they gotta escort him back to the podium. Oh my God. Dude, they're literally walking him around like a dog at a dog show. Oh my God. You know what's funny? I have a theory. I think that Trump is really intimidated by the Asian world. Or he's like really intimidated by Asian people because, like, you know, I think they're smarter. Is that racist? Fuck you. I think they're smarter, and I think he knows that they're like more serious and they're smarter than him. And he gets in that room and they see right through him. They see right through him. They're like, you're a fucking idiot, bro. You're a fucking idiot. And he knows that they know. And he's like, hi. Hey, guys. Hey. It's me, Donald Trump. Like, isn't it crazy that I'm here? Whoa! Like, verbatim. I actually think he's wildly intimidated by the Asian world. Anyway, okay. Back to domestic shit. Donald Trump wants you to starve to death. He just signed the go fuck yourself and die bill, right? And now we're finding out, oh, I already knew this. Now we're finding out that the government has had a surplus of money to, in the event, look at this, it's highlighted. There is a surplus of money that benefit funds are available for program operations even in the event of a government shutdown. What? So you're telling me we've had the money, you're telling me that we've had a hurricane jar of weed, right? Like a jar of weed that we keep for a rainy day. in case a hurricane comes and we can't go to the dispo. And the hurricane came and you didn't crack open the jar? Fuck you! Open the jar! Give me the bud! What is this? The government shutdown is permanent. That's what this is. Somebody in chat just said, and you're right. They're not going to reopen the government. And what they will do is bring back a select group of federal employees that just happen to be loyalists to the Fuhrer. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? I mean, dude, we got fucking Senator Pocahontas talking about this. Donald Trump deleted this from the government website. Let's be clear, there's funding available to cover SNAP benefits next month. Trump is stopping SNAP benefits because he wants to. And what he wants, and I've talked about this before, is he wants people to lose their shit. He wants people to snap. No pun intended. Because if somebody snaps, and people do snap when they get hungry, especially if their kids get hungry, when people snap, they get violent. When people get violent, it gives the government the ability to point to that and use that as an excuse to deploy that quick reaction force that we talked about in the beginning. That quick reaction force for riots and civil unrest, that is because Trump wants riots. He wants civil unrest. He wants to be able to point to it and say, see, I told you so. And this is the same shit that you see in every abusive relationship, right? Is pushing, poking buttons, trying to get you to lash out. And then once you do, going, wow, look at this reaction. Holy fuck, wow, you're a gaslight. And they're gaslighting you into thinking that you're a gaslighter. So that's where we are. Now, speaking of SNAP, on the good side, we have this. 25 states sue the Trump admin for withholding food aid funding. Democrat attorneys general and governors from 25 states sued the Trump regime Tuesday over its conclusion that it cannot tap emergency funds to keep food aid flowing for millions of Americans next month. Officials, including those in California, New York, Massachusetts, and the District of Columbia, argued that USDA violated federal law by planning to suspend benefits under the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, the nation's largest anti-hunger program serving nearly 42 million people. The department's actions, they claim, will delay SNAP benefits for the first time in the program's history. So at least we have some sort of pushback. The problem is that the judicial system, the justice system, is owned by Trump. And as we've seen, and I'll cover it right now, judges don't mean anything anymore. They can do whatever they want. And the example that I want to show you is that Texas judges are allowed to turn down same-sex weddings now on the basis of religious grounds. There was a court case over this, and Texas judges who declined to perform a wedding ceremony based on sincerely held religious beliefs, it was ruled that they do not violate the state's rules on judicial impartiality. So we are regressing as a society. In Texas now, gay people can not get married. They can be refused their marriage license. And what will be coming next, you can take this seriously if you care about the future, is interracial marriage. Interracial marriage is next on the chopping block, okay? And then the final nail in the coffin, which they won't even mention until it's out there, is interreligious marriage. What they're going to do is make Christianity the official religion of the United States of America. They're going to make you have to put your religion on your ID, and they will use that as a way to deport Muslims, Jews, atheists, Hindus, anybody who's not Christian. But what they will do is say, if you are Christian, you can only marry white Christians, and it has to be same sex. Fucking call me a fearmonger all you want. You'll be back here in 6 months going, holy shit, how could you tell? How did you know? You want to know how I could tell? I read it on the wall. It's written on the wall. Read it. Read the writing on the wall. Fuck! All right. Last thing, palate cleanser. We're going to watch Stephen Miller's hideous cunt wife with her giant fucking nose have a crash out where she accuses anybody who insults her of being anti-Semitic. Fuck you, Mossad bitch.
totally
who
lying.
wear the
That's
scarf
very
on their neck.
normal
They
for a
see me.
Miller to be complete.
By the way, this dirty fucking whore gets piped by Elon Musk while her fucking husband sits there on the cuck chair, stroking his micro penis with a fucking chopstick.
Completely and utterly lying.
Quite frankly, I'm really sick and tired of this racist, bigoted rhetoric that comes from people like you against my husband, against my family, and my children. I am raising Jewish children in this country.
Who brought your
in which
children
you
into this? What a weirdo.
Piers, I'm going to be done with this if you're going to allow race.
I'm gonna be done racist rhetoric. Who the fuck is being racist, you dumb cunt? No one's being racist. You're doing the same thing that all you fucking Zionists do, which is pull out the I'm Jewish card, you're anti-Semitic as soon as anybody insults your character, your actions, or the actions of Israel. We're not dumb anymore. This isn't 2004. You can't just accuse anybody of being anti-Semitic for insulting you, you fucking cunt.
And bigoted attacks against one of your commentators just for the sake that he will not
hang on.
speaking.
Casey, to be clear,
Casey,
to be clear,
he inserted a line that says
Casey,
the
hang
Miller's
on.
lie. Is that not
You
coded?
do lie. What did you just say?
Is that not coded language for therefore we are Jewish?
Oh, you are Stephen Miller's wife. You really are Stephen Miller's wife. He said the Miller's lie. Is that not coded language because we're Jewish? No, it's not. You dumb cunt. You and your husband lie every day. No one said anything about you being Jewish. What the fuck? Thank you for the $20 donation. Thank you for being fearless, Chris. Fearless fuck America. I was raised Christian, forced to go to church so I could physically walk out of my own 13 years old. No thanks, fuckers. Thank you for the $20. Let's keep watching. I can't fucking believe this shit.
Casey, to be clear,
he inserted a line that says the Miller's lie. Is that not coded language for therefore we are Jewish? Come on, Pierce. Where are you? What? Where are you standing?
Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Kick him off! Kick him off the show!
God, you're so
Casey,
pathetic.
if I can speak,
Everything's your
if I can
is
speak, listen.
anti-Semite. Fire him, cancel him, cancel him, America. Oh my God, Israel's feelings
I
have been hurt.
fucking,
Why don't
dude.
you?
So I don't always agree with Cenk Uygur, but this shit is exactly how I feel. That is exactly how I feel, and I'm so glad he's doing it to her fucking fugly face.
Work for this
All right,
country.
can we try and get
this country?
Wait, isn't that the bitch who taught me how to work out when I was 9?
Laura gets on my show, and I appreciate you coming on the show, and I like you coming on the show.
And I'm saying
But,
the
you know,
two other
I
guests
think
on
you're
your
able
show
to.
are welcome to participate in these anti-Semitic attacks that is so permeating on CNN and MSNBC.
This is so ridiculous. I'm
sorry.
sorry. I have to jump in here. Somebody criticizing you personally is not an anti-Semitic attack. If somebody says that you are lying, that is not an attack on Jews, that is an attack on you. And just stop hiding behind identity. This is all the snowflake behavior that the right is supposedly criticizing the left for, that you're simply repeating here. Yes, Stephen Miller is a destructive force in American society. That is not an attack on Jews. That is no reference to his identity. This is an attack on him individually, and just deal with the merits of this case.
Dude, it's just so predictable that you insult Stephen Miller and his wife goes, "Oh, so you hate Jews? Make Israel great again." Right, Katie Miller? You dumb, ugly cunt. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. If you're here live, you stay. We got more news to cover. If you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. Do me one last favor. Click that video right over there. It's a banger. And I know bangers. All right, there we go. Bang. We got a banger. 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 Oh. Every morning, bro, it's just nightmare, 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 nightmare. Liberal. Liberal. Baby sacrifice, putting on foreskin to keep myself young, praising Moloch. Shout out to Shag is a bad word. Shout out Shag is a bad word. All right, time to make a thumbnail. Have you seen some of the stuff DHS is posting? Yeah, dude, it's just terrorist propaganda. Yeah, I've seen it. Why am I not logged into Canva? Your designs. Thank you. All right. Let's make a thumbie. Give us our frames. You're not getting any fucking frames, you commie bitch. These are my fucking frames now. All right, so we're gonna need military deployed in U.S. cities. But what about the emergency frame fund? We have the emergency frame fund, and we will continue to have the emergency frame fund. Save image. Episode 279. Where have you been all my life? Hold on, let me turn this down. Oh God, never clip that, 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 never clip that. You fucking piece of shit, Valenti Simp! I saw you do it! I saw you do it, you fucking scumbag! I saw you fucking do it, you fucking piece of shit! Delete that shit! Delete that shit! Delete that shit! You fucking bastards. God damn it. Where have you been all my life? All my life. That's all you're gonna get. I'm sweating now. I'm sweating now. I'm sweating now. Give me my sweat back. All right, okay. I gotta turn the volume back up. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Bro, that was like fucking Mr. Krabs doing that shit. What does he say? A grill is... Oh, no, that's SpongeBob. A grill is a grill. This is surely so. And fries will be fries. That's what I say. Did you see the socialists won the presidential election in Ireland? I don't know if Ireland is free yet. You know? Not too sure about that. All right. We're going to need me. We're going to need me. Damn, I'm losing my voice. I am deadass losing my voice from screaming all the fucking time. Thanks for becoming a member for a month. Keep on preaching the end times message of hope. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please put some honey in your coffee. It helps. I like honey in my coffee. That shit is delish. Delishy. All right. All right, we've got It's Happening. What is your opinion on those you're going to leave those who are going to leave the U.S.? Listen, there's a lot of people who are first up on the list, you know? Gays, trans people, minorities. I don't blame those people for fleeing, but I'm a white Christian raised, I'm not Christian anymore, but white, straight, Christian raised, born on the U.S. soil. I have an obligation to fight back because my voice is one that they will listen to simply because of my intrinsic, my traits, my what I was born like. I gotta turn this down. There we go. That's better, right? I have an obligation to fight back because of who I am. And the same goes for anybody who's in the in group, you know? We have an obligation. All right, so It's Happening. That's number 1. Oh. Whoops. I already saved it. So It's Happening. All 50 states. And then we'll do war. The Enemy Within. War. War never changes. All righty. All right, so we're going to title this, Breaking. Pentagon plans to deploy military to all 50 states. Trump tests nuclear weapons. No, Trump orders nuclear launch. There we go. The V symbol you use is coincidentally very similar to the symbol of Sweden's Socialist Party. You know what else it's similar to? V for Vendetta. Trump wants to nuke the United States? No, he ordered that we begin testing our nuclear weapons again for the first time in 30 years. He actually said the word immediately. He said, I want you to start detonating our nuclear weapons immediately. Okay. Trump prepares QRFs for all 50 states. Oh, it's all caps. Whoops. Trump prepares QRFs for all 50 states. He got nothing done with Xi. We are testing our nukes. SNAP has emergency funding, but it's being withheld. And Katie Miller cries on TV. There we go. The Valenti VOD. No, there is no AI generated content. Events dealing with war, death, and tragedy. All right, publish. Editor, trim and cut. The Pentagon has now. $222. The Pentagon has ordered all save, acknowledge, confirm. All right, that's done. Now I gotta make a quick advertisement. Quick ad. The Pentagon has ordered the creation of 50, whoops, never mind. The Pentagon has confirmed that 23,000 soldiers are being prepared to be trained in riot control and crowd control so they can be part of a quick reaction force to be deployed in all 50 states of the United States of America, including territories like, you know, Puerto Rico and Guam and all that shit. So I was right, eat my shitty asshole. They are going to deploy the military in all 50 states of the United States of America because Donald Trump is the Fuhrer, not the president. What else? Trump ordered the immediate testing of our nuclear weapons after 30 years of us not testing them. This is because he got nothing accomplished in his meeting with Xi Jinping, and he feels like he has a little baby micro penis, which he does. So he's trying to flex his nuclear power, which is fucking unheard of. What else? SNAP benefits. There's an emergency fund for SNAP benefits. If there's ever a government shutdown, Trump is withholding all of that money because he wants you to starve to death. He wants people to snap, no pun intended. That way, people will snap, they'll commit acts of violence, and that will allow him to deploy those 23,000 soldiers in the QRFs to all 50 states. Texas is no longer, in Texas, judges cannot marry gay couples. They can refuse to marry gay couples, so we are regressing as a society. And then Katie Miller, Stephen Miller's whore of a wife, was on Piers Morgan, and she just accused anybody who insults her for any reason for being anti-Semitic. Because Cenk Uygur said the Millers lie, and then she had a crash out and said that that is coded language and it's anti-Semitic. So yeah, that's where we are. I have a whole new YouTube video on this. Go check it out. The military is being deployed to all 50 states. New YouTube video up. Alrighty. Yes, the new merch will include hoodies. All right, that's on TikTok. Let's get it on Instagram as well. Excuse me. Merch drop when? This week. Or sorry, next week. Next week. Genuine question, as the self-appointed president of the anti-bad guy, good guy club was a bit, right? Yeah. No, I was trying to make fun of the, those, like, incel losers who are actually in the anti-bad guy, good guy club. I was trying to make fun of them, you know, be like, you guys do not care about anything, including, like, who the leader is. You know, you guys are okay with dictators just appointing themselves as the leader, so I'm going to take over your fucking movement. I also just like to trigger those fucking idiots, dude. We're talking about, like, actual weird-ass incels who are obsessed with children. It's fucking gross, dude. Isn't that the He-Man Woman Haters Club? No, the Anti-Bad Guy, Good Guy Club is a group of pedophiles who just, like, they want to amalgamate together. They put on the baby voice and they pretend to be Tildwin. It's literally a group of pedophiles. That's what that is. Disgusting? I know. I know. Yikes. Yep, big yikes, dude. See, Anti-Bad Guy, Good Guy Club, it's just a group of pedophiles that was started by this fucking incel named Womp Tomp on TikTok. Talks in the baby voice, he talks like this. We're in the Anti-Bad Guy, Good Guy Club. It's disgusting. It's absolutely pitiful. Oh, yeah. No, Valenti Sim's right. I do not get paid on TikTok. My TikTok is demonetized. I could, what is it? Apply for monetization, but I really don't give a shit. I really don't give a fuck. All right. Time for a palate cleanser before I go.
Holy shit.
Oh, and I bought it.
What?
Dude, I'm a killer.
You greasy fuck.
Dude, reload the shotgun, you fucking fat idiot. There we go. I heard that there's a chance that if there's another president, all MAGA could be seen as terrorists. Is this true? Well, I mean, Trump said that anybody on the left is a domestic terrorist. He set the precedent so that if the pendulum ever did swing back, a president could say anybody who voted for Donald Trump is a terrorist. Now, that would be an insane thing to do. That would be an insane thing to say because that's not real. You got to be careful when you fight monsters that you don't become the monster yourself. But no, you can't do that. You can't do that. You could say every single person in ICE is a terrorist. That's an irrefutable fact. All right, one more palate cleanser. Pewter, show me this guy's balls. (1v31) the final stand. Look at this, 1v31. Just me. I think I have C4 laid out up there, too. Maybe I don't. Oh, I do! I had C4 out there! Reload, reload.
Shit!
Reload! Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, one more. Oh my god, I have C4 all over this fucking thing. This poor guy.
Get fucked.
Dude, that's fucked up. Dude, that's fucked up. Look at this guy. Look at this poor fucking guy. This is probably a 7-year-old kid. This is a 7-year-old kid, bro. Look at him. Look at him.
Get fucked.
You wrong for that. Yeah, no, I know.
My god. That was... I really didn't think that was...
I really didn't think that was gonna work. It's probably what I said. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus Christ, bro. I think I would uninstall if something like that happened to me. All right, one more. Don't you leave yet. One more. Oh, I've seen this. I dogged out in this. This is Battlefield 5. One-man army type shit. One. I'm keeping track. Two. Three, 4, 5, 6.
Oh my god. Come on. Grenade!
Bleeding hell!
Attention, we have lost objective Fox.
Oh, you're dead, son. 7. 8. Bro, I sound like I'm in the fight. Did you hear this? Hold on, look at this. 8. I think it's clear. And then I capture the flag. Yep. Oh.
No, but you don't
What did I do?
understand. They didn't teach you why World War I has gotta be the most important war in human fucking history, all right? They didn't hammer down on the fact that the old
Go to the
world
juice.
had
Hold
met the new, that modern combat was starting to seep its way into humanity. They didn't teach you about the kingdoms of old that had collapsed, that were standing for hundreds of fucking years. We have battles. No, but you don't understand. World War I was the end of the world. I mean that. It was the end of the world that humanity knew. That humanity had known for the past fucking nearly 2,000 years, okay? The world of empires, monarchies, right? Mass colonialism. No, but you don't understand. Where people are fucking cavalry charging on horses with swords directly at steel fucking tanks. You fire your rifle at it, the bullet's just gonna ricochet off. You've got guys using bolt-action rifles that can fire maybe 5 rounds a minute, coming up against fucking machine guns that can fire 666 rounds a minute. I mean, the Belgians were fortifying themselves in castles of old, castles that had been standing for hundreds of fucking years and held back countless assaults, and then in a matter of minutes, they come toppling down from artillery. Just fucking centuries of history demolished in a moment over what? Over a fucking land grab.
No, but you don't understand.
World War I was the end of the world. I mean that. It was the end of the world that humanity knew. That humanity had known for the past fucking nearly 2,000 years, okay? The world of empires, monarchies, right? Mass colonialism. No, but you don't understand. No, but you don't understand. Yes, no, you won't understand.
Hell yeah. I still can't believe I made that noise with my human body. I made that noise with my human body, and I have never been able to recreate that. I can't even do it. I literally can't do it. I don't even know what the fuck, like, came over me. I think it was just like the founding fathers just came in my ass. No, I mean, I've made that noise before, but nowhere near as accurate as it is. You know, as that one was. Never has it ever been that accurate. All right, guys. Thank you very much for tuning into the Valenti broadcast. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends that there's some fucking douchebag New Yorker who makes politics a little bit easier to consume. All right, guys. I'm out of here. Sounds more like a red-tailed hawk. Go fuck yourself. I'm out of here, guys. Later.